Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Educator. So my name is Jefin Athari Wirza, and I'm from Senior High School number 3 Painan. So I in this motion I will be the first speaker of opposition, and the motion is this House regret the merger and acquisition within the tax industry. So first, I'm going to rebuttal the point of the argument from the first speaker of government or alternative. Firstly, about the first, data can get exposed to the other party, which merge acquisitions with the said company that we already have contract with. So, if you think it sounds really bad, is it really that bad? Let me tell a story first. That since the day of modern internet, we already use Google as our base in internet, and we still using Google until this very day. But there is something that we always seem to forget, that every time we use Google, we give Google our private information. Google already know everything about us. From our birthday to our mother birthday to our credit card number and other thing. And does that really bother us? In the paper that may sound really something horrifying, but in the reality it's not really affect us at all, because in the end of the day, that the tech industry that are merging and having our privacy is on in the end of the day, they only going to give us advertisement that seems to match up with something that we want. That is something we say in our chat. That is something we search in our search engine and other thing. That is the worst thing that may happen to us. That is getting advertisement that seems to match up with our interests. Yes, yes, in this kind of age there is something like carding, identity theft and other things like that. But the company will not going to do that, even if they. Because why? Why? Because the company has their own law, they has their own moral, and they will not do that to their precious customer. That only make customer going to run from them. So and also if that happens, that is the fault of the company and not the fault of merging. So getting our data export is not that bad as it sounds. It should not be an issue at all. And the second argument that I want to rebuttal, that is merging or acquisition other company will harm consumer since there is no option. So how it's actually going to harm us? When? Is it when the product of the merged company, the quality are going down? Then what the point of acquisition? If that's or merger, that if that they do. Because if they do that, then consumer will start to looking for new company with better quality. There no way company going to do that, because that is clearly a waste of time and resource. And the effect supposedly to make our experience with the service become better, because they become bigger company, and bigger company usually have better service. Also, why we need other option? The merging or acquisition company will become better as consumer we choose the service based on their quality, and this company clearly has the quality. If we're talking about the privacy, then privacy doesn't really matter, as I mentioned before, because in the end of the day they only going to advertising to us. So there is no harm happen to consumer at all. And lastly, welcome to my argument. My first argument is, the bigger the company, the better the service is going to be. as we can see at Gojek and Tokopedia case, we can see them merging into one giant company that's called Goto. And with their centralized and integrated service, we can get what we want easier. And also, since they become bigger, then they have innovate to become bigger, to not lose their number of users. And with their resource, the innovation surely will be big, radical, and further improve our experience in using their service. And my second argument is merger will lower the price for consumer. Since the two companies merging into one, they will have shared income and lower average cost, resulting in lower price for consumer. Since our POV or point of view in this debate is as normal citizen and not as government, then this is clearly have advantage for us. Since as a normal citizen, what we want is to get better service with lower price. This clearly making merger or acquisition profitable for us because we get what we want in best quality and the lowest price possible. And lastly, my last argument is merger or acquisition will make the people selling there has bigger market than before. Let's say that Gojek and Tokopedia merging into one. So the people who selling things in Tokopedia will have a bigger market than before. Why? Because the people who initially only use Gojek and not using Tokopedia, they automatically will use Tokopedia because their service with Gojek is merged with Tokopedia. With that merger, their user base is also going to merge it, and with that, the people who selling things as online shop in Tokopedia surely going to have bigger audience because the people at Gojek we're going to see them because Gojek and Tokopedia is already merged. And this is clearly advantage that we have to support. And also this also happen to the driver of a Gojek, because now those driver of Gojek can take order from people who is using Tokopedia, who initially not using Gojek at all, because the Tokopedia and Gojek already combined and merged. So because of that three arguments that I disagree with this motion that saying this whole regret merger and acquisition within the tech industry. Thank you.